Alumilite Cactus juice and Cholla Cactus. What do you do when your Cholla Cactus is too big to make the traditional Cholla Cactus pens? How about cutting them in little pieces and dyeing them in cactus juice? That way you can have something a little bit different. This is green dye and cactus juice. Now after you finally get them stuffed in the jar, put a little weight on them and put them in a vacuum chamber. I use an old Presto cooker that I made a gasket for with a plastic top. I usually vacuum it out for about 8 hours so all the bubbles stop. Then I let them sit for at least a week. I think it should go longer on some of the colors to get a little bit better color in them. Then I use the same Presto pot to cook them. This is my base, and I spread them out on the wire, and this is what I get out of them. Now I put them in a mold. I use a little mold. It'll make 2 pens or 1 double barrel pen. Uses 2 ounces of material. I can't see you using 14 ounces of material to make 1 or 2 pens. And there's another trick. I usually put my dye on the popsicle stick, mix it in with this is Alumilite white, or Alumilite colored white, and then stir that up. That way you get a little good swirl action. Pour that into the mold, and then stick it in the pressure pot. And this is the blanks cut out. This were dyed purple. Here's the purple colored Cholla. I think it needs to sit a little longer to get a better dye. This is turning it. That's what they look like when they're finished. That's an orange color. This is a purple color. Colors don't show up well. It's also orange. And this is red. This sat a little bit longer. This was almost 2 weeks soaking. These pens were made for Christmas presents for my nieces and nephews. And this is a little mold I made for tops. That's what the there's a top. Saves about 2 ounces of Alumilite at $1 an ounce. Why waste the Alumilite? Here's something I tried. Cholla Cactus. I kind of glued them together and put them in the mold. I was trying something. I found out it's better to just throw the flakes in by themselves. Cut them up in little pieces and drop them in there. They come out good. Here again, I'm just putting the dye on the popsicle stick, and then this is Alumilite white, and I stir it up, and then I use the popsicle stick to get the swirls into the Alumilite, as opposed to pouring it in the mold and then stirring it up in the mold and get it to swirl around. Seems to work pretty good. That little mold you see there with the brown and blue swirl in it, that's Zach Higgins. Zach, he says pour some Alumilite and make strips out of it. That's what that's from. I'm not really good into pens. It's really amazing. And then those little molds behind there that I'm filling now are the strips. The only problem with this is you got to make sure you sand them so the Alumilite will stick to them. I put everything in. I put the two molds in the pressure pot. Now here's the demolding of the top form. And you can see you don't see much of it that way. And there's what it looks like after I sanded here's the top itself. After it's turned, you see a little bit more of the Cholla Cactus through it. That's a little better. This is one I broke the Cholla up and just put it in the mold. I think it looks a little prettier. The dye in the Cholla makes a big difference. Well, thanks for watching.